tonight. We're talking about the Web3 revolution, energy systems and a deep evolution, yeah. It's a digital symphony, a decentralized energy in the world of connection. Oh, so talk is our destination. Web3 fascination. Get ready for the revolution. Here we go.
Welcome to the 10th episode of Source Talk, the podcast where the future of energy unfolds. Source Talk is focused on Web3, deep in Srcful, and everything related. And today it's me, Johan, and Frederick. How are you today?
Oh, it's fine, and nice to be on board in yet another episode. It's been a couple of weeks when we haven't done any outreach. So at least not in this place.
No, and the reason why is basically that everybody, the whole team has been super busy building and going to different kind of meetups, and yeah, there has been a lot of things going on, and we can also hint that some of the team members will actually start working on Srcful full time, and that will also make it a lot easier for us to do things like Source Talk on a more regular basis, I think.
Yeah, and we have been bootstrapping for 2 years, and I would say that we still are, but feels like something is about to happen quite soon, and we will hopefully be able to give some more updates when these things are starting to get in motion. But we are, like as you said, 2 people will begin full time in the next, I would say, quite near 2 months or so. So that's cool. So maybe we should look back at where we left off the last episode. What has happened since then?
My connection is pretty bad right now, so I hope it will work anyway. So if I freeze, you know why. But yeah, a lot of things has happened. The first thing that, I mean, we mentioned it in the last episode. I think it was the Jupiter LFG launchpad that we were a part of, not just once but twice. And we came on number 5 both times, I think, which are a really good result.
We came last.
yeah, you can say that as well. But,
yeah,
but we have had really good talks with the team and at Jupiter, and internal talks about this as well. And I mean, for us, I think, or we think it's pretty good that we didn't win yet, because we had to focus so much attention on the token launch that we wouldn't be able to build anything basically. So for us, the timing is better soon to come, I think, to do it.
Yes.
Token launch. Yeah.
And we now also have a more clear strategy on how to make this project go as far as possible, I would say. I won't mention any details. It will be a cliffhanger, but hopefully within, I would say, a month or so, we will be able to announce some really, really cool announcements. That is like, even without being able to tell you any details, there are big things coming very soon. In terms of what we believe will be the future of what we're building. Yeah, let's leave that to a cliffhanger, and then we can continue on speaking on what has happened the last couple of weeks at least. So as we said before, so I think Web3 Festival, we haven't talked too much about it. So
no, so you and me went to the Web3 Festival in Hong Kong, and that was pretty quick in and out. For me, it was 3 nights. For you, it was 4. And we started. We landed at the airport. We went basically right away to the first Deepin event hosted by Arcgreen. That was a really, really good event. I think everybody was there. We met a lot of interesting projects. Demo was there. Not HiveMapper, Deepin Hub, and
Arcgreen and Helium. So several
Helium
people.
was there. Yeah, PowerPod was
least
there. Yeah,
PowerPod, yeah. And we had some investors as well. So EV3, Sal from EV3 was there, and but probably many more that we are now forgetting to mention. But it was, I would say, a really nice event. And I would say that these Web3 conferences and these events that happen around the conferences, the side events, they are, I would say, really nice to be at. The feeling of being part of a community and being part of something, like we're part of a movement. So I would say every Deepin project out there is generally not in competition, even if there are Deepin projects that are maybe overlapping in what they are building. It's still a vast, I would say, demand side, and there is still so much, like we're so early into the beginning of what is to happen, I think. So I'm super bullish about the development in, I would say, for the whole sector. And just being part of this, I think that's what drives me the most, being part of something that is essentially going to change the world that we live in, which is really cool. So
yeah, and now maybe we have some kind of biases, but my feeling was it was a lot of talk about Deepin on the event. It was like there was one special day just dedicated to Deepin, and there were a lot of side events that was dedicated to Deepin, and yeah, you heard Deepin basically everywhere you went.
yeah, and quite fun, because there were, at least the last day, I think it was on Monday when we went to this. It was sort of a parallel one-day conference at the Cyberport, but a lot of these talks were in Chinese, and unfortunately, that we couldn't really understand what they were saying, but you could at least understand what they were talking about, because it was Deepin all the time. So it must mean that at least Deepin isn't a word in Chinese, I guess, or they just use the same English word. I don't know, but
I can also see that we have Joachim here, so I will let Joachim in, and I will actually just disappear for a few minutes, and you and Joachim can continue, so I can fix my internet connection. I think that would be a good strategy for me, because I'm probably lagging a lot.
Hello. Okay, so welcome, Joachim, into
Thank
this source talk. Yeah.
I'm just grabbing my sheet over here. You were discussing Hong Kong Web3 Festival.
Exactly. So we were at, I would say that we've already covered a little bit about the first day, at the first side event, which was hosted by Arcgreen. And then I would say we went to a couple of other side events during the Web3 Festival. And those of you that are listening into this podcast, I'm very happy to recommend going to, I would say, the Web3 conferences that are in your area, or maybe if you're into this sector, because there are so many cool people to meet, and it's, I would say, really a thriving community that gathers a lot of interesting people. So that's really cool. And we also talked about that Deepin is what we believe is the new hot thing. We are not alone in seeing this trend. That you and that's also a really cool thing to be part of. So Yeah, I think that was the first day, at least. In total, the Web3 Festival was. I mean, we had a full day that was focusing on Deepin at that conference. So I was in 2 panels during the Hong Kong trip, and also that is also one reflection is that there aren't too many energy-related Deepin projects yet. I would be surprised if we don't see more soon, because I still think there is lots of space for more Deepin projects within the energy sector. And like basically just because that there is so much to do still in terms of making the energy sector more democratized, and you as the end user giving the means and tools for the end user to actually participate, own your own data, and be part of building the future of the energy system. Because what we see now is so unmodern. I mean, I think we live in the Nordic countries, we live in Sweden, we have already connected energy meters, that's by law. A lot of European countries has the same, but there are still, I would say, many European countries that has an old analog electricity meter that someone actually goes out on a regular basis and reads, probably jots down on a piece of paper, and that is the basis of would say the sending the invoice for your energy bill. So just being able to make these kind of services take the leap into the next evolution, like we connect devices, and being able to do that in a way that makes sense. That is not building a centralized, super big database where, yet again, the end user becomes the product, as we have seen in so many corporate networks. So this is about the movement that we see happening in loads of different sectors at the moment, where energy is like a super interesting sector. There is so much to do, but I love to talk about other projects that are in the same sector. Helium obviously is like the original Deepin project, but we also have Demo, for instance, which is like a favorite Deepin project of mine. Obviously, because I'm also a member and get tokens for driving my car. You do as well, Johan.
Yeah.
But this kind of, I think that what drives us and what drives, I would say, me is also being part of changing things. Let's do things. Let's build the new kind of internet in some way. Maybe I shouldn't get started on this too much, but I'm just been reading the Read Write Own book by Chris Dixon, and this kind of like it's really a visionary book, but it's much about that we are now able. Technology has evolved, and this have started with Bitcoin. Obviously, that we are able to put things on a blockchain. We're able to have this, I would say, sort of global state. Bitcoin could be considered as a global state machine as well. I guess it's not very fast and it's quite expensive. You're not able to run code on it. Technically, no, I don't think you are. You need a layer on top of that, I guess. But the thing here is that kind of technology has still, at this moment, it has evolved to the point that it actually becomes useful for something else than just tokenizing like an asset or a value. You can actually utilize the technology for something else. And I think that's the most interesting part, is that like when internet started, like you had a network, and then we have more or less every service in the world is running on communicating somehow over the internet, and it's built a vast amount of wealth around this. And I think we'll see the same thing happening in, I would say, in blockchains very soon. So this has been like a trend where like you had these corporate blockchains and such, but now we can actually see the value of it. And I think the value comes from, I would say, the deep in projects will probably be the major force that is making, I would say, crypto mainstream and being able to solve things. I think Stripe, they announced just a week ago that they were going to utilize Solana for handling transactions, as far as I understood.
Yeah, you should be able to pay with USDC using Stripe, and that will be all handled on Solana.
Yeah.
As I understood, anyway. I don't know if they had any release dates, but
yeah. But let's and we could probably have like a special episode when we dive into these kind of topics even more. But this was supposed to be an update.
And not and let's continue on the Hong Kong track. And for me, it was, I mean, Fredrik, you have met a lot of these key players at Solana Breakpoint, and it was the first time for me. And I would just like to say how enormously friendly the whole community is. It's super fun. It's super nice people everywhere, and it's just really nice to be part of that community. Also, speaking about nice people, Fredrik, you had a meeting with Rock Wireless, right?
Yep, I met them, and I had a lunch with them also. So that's worth a lot. As we are working with hardware, we can't get around the fact that hardware is needed. Also, I believe that a deep in project perhaps don't necessarily need to be hardware, but often you will end up
physical infrastructure. So
exactly.
I mean, yeah.
So some kind of hardware is pretty much necessary.
But you could probably find grayscales on definitions and such. So, but let's not dive into that. But anyhow, as we are working with hardware, we need to also work with the intersection with hardware manufacturers. We won't produce the hardware. We just need to collaborate and do this in partnerships with the guys that know hardware the best, and also are able to produce and distribute this. So that was worth a lot, and we do now have an official partnership with Rock Wireless, and the first Solaris batch of the Srcful energy gateway, you're able to order it directly from Rock Wireless.
And it's already sold out, at least right now. But that's just a little bit of a hiccup on our side of just verifying some things concerning Bluetooth, and also
the public key, I believe, extracting the public key.
Yeah, extracting the public key. So we are working on that, and that will be. It's basically already fixed, I think. So the gateway will be back in stock any day now.
And I know that I said any day now, and it was more than a week ago, but it should be literally any day now. So you'll see them back in stock, and I know that there are at least a handful of people that have reached out and will probably buy it right away. It's a really good price. We managed to get I would say a really good deal. Rock also believes in this project, so just the gateway itself, it's essentially a stripped down version of the Rock version 2 hotspot without the LoRaWAN concentrator. So it's hardware that has proved itself to be really stable, worked already for years for the Rock hotspots that has been around since 2021, I think. And we have a couple of these ones running the Helium software, the Helium gateways that are still running strong, and then been in outdoor casings, and they just continue working. So we did make some, I would say, rational decisions on this to make it stable hardware. But it's essentially just a Raspberry Pi 4. Yeah, if someone wonders, like, you are still at the moment able to do it yourself. So and we have a couple of people that have gone through the DIY route. I'm not sure about the exact number, but I would say a handful of devices are do-it-yourself devices.
Yeah, and if you want to grab one, look out for the shop. Just visit Srcful.io and click on shop, and you will be redirected to the Rock Wireless shop, and you can buy it from there. Still out of stock, but maybe any day, as you said, it will be available again. Price is $119, right?
Yep.
Yep. Great. Wrapping up Hong Kong, of course, a lot of interesting discussions with, as you said, investors, manufacturers, other deep-in projects. I'm really stoked for Singapore now. I guess it will be like that web festival, but even better, I think. Now,
Yeah. One thing that Solana does really good, and there's a lot of things. I'm very pro Solana, by the way. but anyhow, they do events really good.
Yeah.
So, and we did also go to the Solana community event in Hong Kong, and I guess you can judge as well, Johan. It was pretty
yeah, it
nice.
was a really good event.
Yeah.
So, speaking about events, we decided to create our own event, Kalmar Deepin. The first Deepin meetup in Kalmar, maybe in Sweden.
Maybe in Sweden, we don't know, but it's actually not unrealistically first event in Sweden, because Deepin hasn't been around for that long. So.
This was a event where, we had Joey Hiller from the Helium Foundation joining us, working with us for a whole week, and he was also a keynote speaker on that event, together with you and the Mark that we have had in the podcast earlier as well.
Yeah.
So that was the lineup, and then we had pizza, beer, and a lot of interesting discussions with tech interested people in the region and beyond the region even. So some people actually took the time to go to Kalmar for visiting that event. It was a really nice event. There will be more, I hope. We did this together with Onekoi also, we should mention.
Yeah. So Helium Foundation and Onekoi and Srcful was the entities that were organizing this. But we do have plans for doing this in Stockholm. We haven't decided on a date, and we'll probably do this. Maybe we shouldn't announce which one, because we need to plan ahead a little bit. But it will likely be a Deepin event, I would say, in Stockholm within the next 2 months or so. That's at least is the ambition.
Yeah.
Because we need to start also meeting the people that are into this kind of communities. Being able to meet in person is, I think, so important. And pizza and beer and talks, that's always fun. So
yeah. Exactly. So, leaving the event part of this episode, Joachim, we have other things at hand as well that has happened. We have a new firmware, right?
Yeah, we do. And I guess for a lot of people, especially those in Italy, this is like a great easement for them, because reconnections is now handled in the firmware. So you don't physically have to hard reboot your device if you lose connection. So that's pretty much the highlight of this firmware's release. And obviously, I think it's 1 or 2 weeks until the next firmware release.
Do we have anything to hint in that release? Is it more stable? stabilization things.
Yeah, stability is like the main focus, but also now with the new gateway, we also have this button to incorporate.
That's
for.
yep.
So previously we had like an open Bluetooth connection. Now we do it with the button, I guess. So we
double
leave
click
the connection open for 5 minutes or 3 minutes or something like that. So that's what they are working on right now.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like, speaking about the platform itself, we are going to see somewhat of an overhaul of the configurator or app. We're gonna clean up the app as it is, like the web version, but I believe we're also going to move towards making an actual native app of some sort. So it's not really optimal not having iPhone.
The iPhone support for Bluetooth.
Yeah, exactly.
Connecting to Bluetooth. There are workarounds, but they are all workarounds, and it's like not that intuitive that I mean, as of right now, you need to kind of download a special app that is a browser with Bluetooth support and use that, and it's a mess. So of course it would be a lot easier with a native app, but that is also something that needs to be developed, and times are scarce. What do you say? We don't have that much time yet, so that's why we have them down prioritized the app, but that will be on top priority, I think, soon. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in the roadmap right now. So, but it's gonna take a while, of course.
Yeah.
We also had. You talked about the Srcful shop. Our shop is actually closed now, so you can't order any pre-assembled gateways anymore, and all distribution is handled by Rock Wireless.
And maybe then we should, but the DIY documentation is still up in the documentations part of, so you can find it there. If you
and that will be something that we haven't decided on exactly where to close this opportunity to do it yourself, but we'll probably wait a bit longer as we're still in the beta phase, but it's clearly, at least on the roadmap, like that the do-it-yourself opportunity might be something that disappears over time. So just saying that if you want to do this, maybe it's time to do it sooner than later.
And you can still go either our DIY route, or you can use the Helium Miner version 2. What else? Community milestones. It was like 2 weeks ago since we did the last Source Talk. So we have over 2,200 followers on Twitter. And we now have approaching 700 people in the Discord server, which is actually a lot, I believe.
Yeah. In terms of organic growth, that we still aren't doing any marketing. I mean, well, you could consider this as some kind of marketing, but I would say that we just do updates in our community, and those that find us, they drop in somehow. We haven't paid any influencers or done any, I would say, paid marketing. Everything has so far grown organically in that way, which at least gives some indication that like at least 2,000 people has followed the account on X just because they think we're doing something that is of interest. So yeah.
Which is also kind of cool, because I believe a lot of people that supports us now is actually in it for the token and not necessarily for the gateway itself. So, but I believe once we get to marketing, we're going to target a lot of people who are not into crypto. Because I believe a lot of people who has solar panels, especially in Sweden, are not that inclined to go into the crypto space. So that's actually going to be really, really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of we can't say too much, but we have also recognized that I mean, just looking at other deep-in projects like Helium, I mean, it's hard, as you say, to reach maybe the end customer that is actually thinks that crypto is a big red flag. Actually, that I mean that they exist a lot, I think. So we also need to be really easy to. I mean, that's the thing with deepin and crypto is that you can have multiple layers of business models, and we really want to be able to for those of you that are, I mean, I can really go out in my neighborhood and try to sell this, and I mean, I set up the wallet. I have all the gateways in my wallet, and then I just place the gateways on location, and then I handle like some kind of deal with the end customer. And of course, I think that will be the most important player in a DP network like ours, to have those. I think we will call them wardens in some way, like wardens of the network that help us grow the network and also helps us help to grow the network, basically. So that will be really important in the future, and we have some ideas. So we have the Hex Warden project coming up that might align with this further on. It doesn't necessarily do that as of start next week, but sooner or later it will, or the week after that, depends on when this is released actually. But the 17th of May we plan to release the first version of the Hex Warden system. We are working hard on it right now, and the next couple of weeks will be a lot of bug fixing and making it ready to be released. But I think we will see that the Hex Warden project will be like this kind of. If you're interested in the project, if you want to help out and even make a cut on the token side, I think the Hex Warden program is for you. And maybe not for the end customer, but for the ones that want to be part of the network. But it's just on a piece of paper right now. It's not like anything that
written in stone.
No, we're kind of trying to find our steps forward, as we have all the time. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We have a new landing page that will arrive really soon as well. So the Explorer will not be on the landing page. It will still be on explorer.srcful.io, but then you will find a link on the landing page, and we will have a partner page and a blog as well, actually. So let's see what we can do with that. And as we said in the beginning, since some of us are actually starting to do this full time now, I hope that we will be even better on doing source talk. It's been mainly me that has been the limiting factor, because I've had a lot of things to do in my daytime job. So I had to squeeze this in on the sides on weekends and things like that. But it will be better. Anything else?
I think we covered everything. Did you talk about the LFG Launchpad in the beginning?
Yep. We began with that. So
we could say that we at least working on fine-tuning the tokenomics side of things. As we're still in the beta phase, we still have, like, we are now doing the distribution of the beta token. We call it now the source beta token. It's still on the mainnet Solana, but that will be sort of tradable later on for the token when we do the proper token launch. This could probably have been communicated better before, but it still won't really matter, because the beta users will get plenty of rewards for being early in and taking part of this journey from the beginning. But we are now fine-tuning a lot of, I would say, simulating and fine-tuning and working a lot on the tokenomics when we leave the beta phase and do a proper token launch. I would say the roadmap for this is within the next months, but it's hard to say an exact date at this moment, because there are quite a lot of dependencies on this. We also need to have everything stable and up and running, like maybe 100 more devices or so before we actually take that decision. So it's good to be in the beta phase. What I'm saying is that it will probably be a good thing, but we will also change the way we distribute, and when we automate this, when we put this as smart programs on the blockchain, then there's a lot of decisions that we're working on actually developing how to best do this in the long run, because we are a project that will live on for many years to come. It's not like a short-term project. It's really a long-term project.
Exactly. And just speaking about the beta token, so hold on to the beta token. I mean, it's on mainnet, as you said, but we will continue to pay out in beta tokens during the beta phase, and but then we will probably close that mint authority. So no more beta tokens, and then you will be able to trade them in. So make sure that you have them in your wallet, because you never know what happens later on. And the next payout, I think, for beta tokens is closing in. I think it's like around the 10th of May or something like that.
Yeah.
So that is coming up as well in the week to come. And as usual, it's for users that has been online at least. Is it 7 days in the 30-day period? Then you can see if you're eligible for beta rewards in the Explorer, because when the time comes, it will be updated in the Explorer even before we do the actual payout. So could be good to know. With that,
and also, do remember though that you can't actually see our tokens in the Solflare wallet.
No,
exactly. So we recommend using Phantom, I believe.
There they will show up. Joachim, your energy,
your power.
Step into the neon lights. Let's take a ride into the crib where the future is alive. We're talking about the Web3 revolution, energy systems and a deep evolution. It's a digital symphony, a decentralized energy in the world of connection. So South gives our destination. Web3 fascination. Get ready for the revolution. Here we go.